Everything from clothing to household items are getting more expensive each day. American Giant is about keeping things simple and close to home. They aren't affected by tariffs because their products never leave the U.S. Support American-made tariff-free clothing with American Giant with American Giant. Get 20% off your first order when you use promo code STAPLE20 at american-giant.com. That's 20% off when you use code STAPLE20 at american-giant.com.
Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. These are the four things you need to know this afternoon. Up first, President Trump has ordered that U.S. Space Command headquarters be relocated from Colorado Springs, Colorado, to Huntsville, Alabama, home of NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center and numerous defense contractors. The Air Force had favored Huntsville, Alabama, before the Biden administration chose to keep it in Colorado in 2023. Now the move is back on the table, a big win for Alabama lawmakers. Space Command oversees military satellites, space-based communications, parts and missile defense. Its relocation has strategic logic. Huntsville boasts deep aerospace experience and infrastructure, but also it's political. Alabama's a red state where defense jobs can swing voters, and Republicans see Huntsville as a way to keep the base energized and reward Alabama as Colorado has trended left. Now, before you think this is all politics, though, consider the Air Force actually wanted this move, but Democratic politicians led by Joe Biden chose to keep it in Colorado to reward progressives and punish conservatives in Alabama. National security needs efficient placement, and Huntsville is well equipped for the role. At the same time, politics is always going to influence military-based decisions. The key is maintaining operational integrity while recognizing every dollar spent on defense carries both national and local impact. And the military has long argued consolidating operations in Alabama would actually save taxpayers money long term. Up next, the Afghan earthquake and compassion in crisis. A powerful 6.0 magnitude earthquake struck Afghanistan's eastern Kunar province Sunday night, killing over 1,400 people, injuring more than 3,000 people. A secondary quake, a 5.5 magnitude quake, struck just 2 days later in the same region, compounding destruction. Entire villages collapsed, made of fragile mud brick housing, underlying Afghanistan's vulnerability to seismic catastrophe. Rescue efforts are hampered by rugged terrain and aftershocks. The area is dominated by Taliban control. International aid has slowed due to funding cuts and policy concerns, especially rules undermining women's participation in aid distribution. UN officials and NGOs warn the situation could spiral without urgent help as basic infrastructure, clinics, roads, water, they've all collapsed. Now, for the United States, it's a test of humanitarian conscience. Having resisted foreign aid spending, we're going to see if the Trump administration decides to engage here. Helping the Taliban is not something most Americans, myself included, want to do. Concurrently, disaster relief is actually a low-cost, soft power way for the U.S. to show it's still engaged in the area and to show its power in an area that China and Russia are trying to insert themselves into for strategic control against us. Speaking of which, Russian President Putin is in China, greeted by President Xi Jinping as an old friend, firmly signaling the relationship between Russia and China continues to grow and get stronger. Now, they join each other in North Korea's Kim Jong-un at a massive military parade in Beijing to mark World War II's end. The symbolism and the optics are unmistakable. It's a show of defiance against the Western world order. It's not just pageantry, it's a strategic realignment. China and Russia are positioning themselves as co-leaders of a new global order, offering an alternative to Western institutions like NATO that poses a challenge not just in Ukraine, it's a challenge to the foundations of post-World War II global stability in the West. Diplomacy and defense have to evolve together. A strong U.S. posture in Asia and Europe matters. We can't allow China and Russia to write the next chapter unopposed. Strength in alliances, economies, resilience in democratic systems, it's our only deterrent when we're dealing with groups like these. In a notable victory, a federal appeals court has ruled the Environmental Protection Agency does have the authority to terminate contracts underpinning the Green Bank Climate Grant Program, overturning a district court injunction. The court decided the matter should be handled as a contract dispute in the U.S. Court of Federal Claims, not on constitutional grounds. This was a Trump-era EPA rollback of a Biden climate initiative. Opponents argued termination was arbitrary, but the appeals court emphasized oversight and accountability, stating taxpayers deserve checks on how these large programs are administered. The case is far from over. The plaintiffs can seek appeal, but the ruling actually allows for the halting of the payments right now. Here's the conservative principle. Taxpayer money must be treated cautiously, not guaranteed forever. This means enforcing sound contract law, corporate responsibility, and programmatic integrity. Courts aren't platforms for policy. They're referees ensuring the rules are followed. And here, the EPA did follow the rules, and this ruling upholds the separation of powers. It's a fantastic ruling and a big win for Lee Zeldin at the EPA. These are the 4 things you need to know this afternoon before you get home from work. I'm Eric Erickson. Have a great day.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. That's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter.com/zip.